So for me, it's always funny to hear how people react when they come to visit. And it's always things that I don't even be thinking about. Their culture shocks are hilarious, but also legit. Now I gotta get on this train down here before it leaves. Look, she running too. And now look, if you rock with the channel for a while, you will know that it always blows my mind when I have friends come and visit. Friends from America come and visit the Netherlands. And now this one is a bit different in the sense of my wife and I had a friend that we used to work with way back in the day, right? Had a friend come and visit the Netherlands from the States. And she's actually well-traveled. Like, she is well-traveled around Europe and Asia. But we were out hanging out at the beach and I sat down with her while our kids were playing. And she was just talking to me about some things that were extremely shocking to her. And I remember she is a bit different because she's very well-traveled, like my wife and I. But she hasn't traveled within, I would say, the past 5 or 6 years. But yeah, we're sitting down, chopping it up, and she starts talking about grocery prices and how much she's paying back in America for her groceries. And now look, I know I have mentioned this a lot on the channel, just how expensive it is, even in the cheaper states that you can live in. It is getting out of control. But what's funny to me is how it was shocking for her to see how cheap groceries were here. I mean, she even thinks that it's cheaper in London too as well compared to America. And the reason why this was so shocking for her and why she brought it up was because back then she said that it used to be more expensive here in Europe. Like, a lot of the food used to be more expensive than it was in America. And now, if I'm being real, I completely understand where she's coming from, because I'm gonna be honest, like, when my wife and I used to travel way back then too as well, we also said the same thing. Like, basically, it seemed like food and groceries were a little bit more expensive in Europe. We always shop, we always lived like the locals, right, when we were traveling. And we would go out grocery shopping, and sometimes we'd be like, dang, this is pricey. But now though, man, even with the conversion, groceries are still a lot cheaper here than they are in the States now. Like, that is crazy. A perfect example of this is water. Bottles of water, okay? Bottles of generic sparkling water. We're gonna use that as an example. I'm using bottled water example because my buddy back in Georgia, lives in Atlanta, right? He went to Kroger, made a video about going to this Kroger. David T. Pimpin', thank you, Georgia Explorer. I hope you don't mind, I'm gonna use this clip from your video. Now, Kroger is one of the cheaper grocery stores in Georgia, okay? It's one of the cheaper ones. And man, this dude walked through some water. He showed sparkling water, just regular bottles of sparkling water, maybe about this big, right? Regular bottles of sparkling water, 3 for $7.50. When I saw this, man, I was like, yo, what's so special about this breed for $7.50? And now look, if you don't know why that's so bad, the equivalent to that is like me walking over to Albert Heijn or Jumbo and getting 3 bottles of sparkling water for like $10. And as you can probably guess, it is not, it's not even close to $10. Pimpin', you can get 3 bottles of sparkling water or Albert Heijn sparkling water, and it's running you for like 70 cents. And man, to be honest, it's probably even cheaper than that. All I'm saying is, it is nowhere near like $7.50. 3 for $7.50? Man, that's freaking crazy. And now look, to be fair, not everything in this grocery store is expensive. There are some things that are a little bit cheaper than the grocery stores here, but what I noticed when I watched the video, a lot of the stuff is actually really pricey, and I don't know why, especially when you compare it to here. And then on top of that too, something I forgot to say in the video was that taxes are not included yet. You will get the taxes when you go pay. So these prices are without tax. But yeah, we were just talking about these grocery prices. We had to be talking about these grocery prices in the States for like 20 minutes. It has just gotten insane. And now there's obviously way more things. I was just using the water as an example. And now something else though that my friend talked about that kind of tripped her out was how her hotel, the outlets, the power outlets that you plug things into, the power outlets were like in the middle of the wall versus being down on the ground. Let me just show you what I mean. that right there? Right there? That is my outlet. There's another one right there. And this is what I mean. This is technically the middle of the wall. Same thing over here. You see, like that thing, look, this thing is as high as my chest. And then this one right over here even has our light switch connected to it. See, look. See? And look, if I'm being honest though, this is actually something that I actually really like, even though a lot of Dutch people don't like it. So many people told me they do not like the power outlets in the middle of the wall. They actually prefer it like how they pretty much do it in the States. And it was a bit of a trip when we first moved here because we were like, why is this? Because you know, you're not used to seeing the wire just hanging down off the wall. After plugging it in, you're not used to that. I don't know, it grew on me and it's actually something that I really like. Now my wife on the other hand, nah, she's like, we need to renovate and move these outlets down. But yeah, this actually really tripped my friend out. Like she said she actually don't remember outlets being up there. Now, in all fairness though, it's not like this everywhere. Like I noticed throughout Europe it's different depending on the country, but I have seen a lot of places in the Netherlands that has the outlet like literally in the middle of the wall. But then all my friends' places that I go to when I go visit people, they all told me that they renovated it to get it down below so that way because they just didn't like it. I don't think I've ever mentioned this in a video before, even though it was kind of a bit of a culture shock for me when we first moved, like me and my wife. It was a bit of a shock. Okay, now quick side note, we did get our Skyppuccino and we also got a muffin. Look, and it looks delicious. But you know what, before I forget, look, go ahead, take a bite of that muffin, go ahead. Let me zoom in on that muffin, go ahead. Little too, that Skyppuccino is really good. That's solid, but no cookie? Come on, man. Like, come on, don't be stingy. But yeah, Skyppuccino is pretty good. Now let's try this muffin. Let me see what this muffin, see if it's good as it looks. Actually, to be honest, it's better than it looks. Check. I'm gonna do something I've never done before. Give y'all a second bite. Go ahead. Wait, there we go. Go ahead. And now listen, man, I'll be honest, I don't know why the outlets are in the middle of the wall. Guys, when I mean the outlets are literally in the middle of the wall, it's like, they're like right here, and usually they're usually down there like in the States, but I don't know why. I didn't ask any questions when we first got our first apartment. I was just happy to get the apartment. And a quick side note, when I did that video on Harlem and all the things I love, right? I went in the church, St. Bavo, and I got a bunch of comments saying how Mozart literally played the organs in this church. And now pimping, I knew that, but I just forgot to mention. So I'm telling y'all now, yeah, Mozart played in St. Bavo. But look, this actually segues into the next thing that my friend was actually really shocked about. Because legit, something else that shocked my friend was just how much public singing she's seen here. I don't mean like public singing for money or anything. I mean like people be on their bike chilling, going like 30 kph, like literally hugging the block, right? And just singing opera or singing their scales, running it back in their heads, like just as loud as possible. And look, Pimmy, this ain't a diss track. Y'all know Harlem never let me be a hater. I actually really like this because no joke, I remember the first time I seen it I was legit on the train. I saw this girl sit down. Literally, she sat like right across from me because we was in a 4-seater. And legit, she pulled out some paper, pulled out the music, pulled out her stick, and she just went in composing music to herself like a boss. I mean, Pimmy, she was going ham. Like, she's legit a composer. Like, you could tell she was a composer. She was just, and she was feeling it. Like, man, for real, she put hard in going hard in the paint. Like, she was that good. God. And actually, you know what? I think public singing may not be the right word because like my friend had mentioned how she witnessed people like just on their bikes, like maybe singing opera and stuff like that. Like these are most likely like they're probably professionals. I just don't know how else to explain it. But yeah, you are seeing a lot of, I never realized how much music was involved in the culture, I would say. I guess that's the best way to put it. Like, because I'm seeing people doing this all the time. The first time was the composer on the train. The second time was someone just practicing the violin. Another time I was walking in a neighborhood and I seen people or you can hear people literally practicing saxophone. Side note, dang, it turned out to be nice today. Holy cow, look at that. My wife even said when she went out to Amsterdam this morning, it was like raining. But in Harlem, God, yes. But yeah, man, I will say that it does seem like the music culture is a bit strong in Harlem. I don't know about Amsterdam, even though my friend says she's noticed some in Amsterdam, but she also noticed people like on the train transporting like or traveling to Harlem. Not so maybe it is a Harlem thing. I'm heading to Amsterdam real quick, and the train stopped all the way down here today. What is going on today, man? I got the front. Man, that was a hot train ride. Dang, it was hot up in that piece. Dang. And now something that our cousin brought up when they were here, because they came the week before the friend came, and something that they said was how a lot of people know a lot of random languages. And the reasons they said this was because it was the mom and her daughter, right? And they're our cousins. Mom and daughter came to visit, and they were going to rent bikes so that we can ride to the beach. So they went in to rent the bikes, and they spoke Chinese because they lived in China for a long time. The girl was actually born in China, so they speak fluent Chinese. So they're in there speaking Chinese to each other, and there's a Dutch guy in there helping them, and he legit was just like, why are you speaking Chinese? And then he spoke Chinese to them. A random Dutch guy. Over there speaking Chinese to my cousin. And yeah, man, this shocked her of how many people like know different languages, because they were actually staying in Amsterdam, and they've been hearing so many languages. And I've mentioned this before, but they hear so many languages while they were just staying here. Like they heard Russian, because she also speaks Russian, she also speaks French, and she also speaks Chinese, as well as there's one more language. I want to say German or something, but she was saying that there were so many different languages just going on. Like it was a lot, man. And it wasn't just with the adults, it was with kids too. So that really shocked her while she was here. And overall though, they did say they had a really, really good time. They actually came for a football match, because the daughter was competing in football here. And they came from the States and had a great time. Now, quick side note, y'all remember this place, Smulers? I just went in there the last video. Actually, before you go ahead, check out this video right over here to see my experience with Smulers, as well as a bunch of Dutch vending machine places here. Like it was fun. Is it better than Japan? I'll let you decide by checking out that video. Go ahead. I gotta get my butt to work.